As you can see, I've already marked the rail right there where I'll be cutting with the Dremel. After I cut that with the Dremel, I will loosen the rail and use a soldering iron to loosen that rail joiner there. It should all slip right out. So I'm about to set up my Dremel. When I'm cutting into track, I like to use this attachment here because I can get down a whole lot closer and level with it, like that. I can with this. You end up with an angle and it cuts out flush and clean. That's my preference. Do it how you like. Trial and error, right? So, when cutting track, eye protection. These little cutting discs can shatter and you could be a pirate. You don't want that. Alright, get ready to cut it now. There's what I'm cutting right there. There's the cuts. Notice I did cut directly on my lines. I want to trim it up later to make sure I got a nice, good fit. So after I open that door back up and I let my helper back in the room, I'll get my putty knife and start scraping up that section of track. I try to be careful though, because it's all cemented with ballast. I don't want to mess up the road bed. I'll be using that road bed again. There we go. This switch here wasn't glued down yet. Didn't think I needed to. Luckily for me. Makes this a whole lot easier. Next thing I'm gonna do is heat up my soldering iron so I can slide that off. I want to get the old rail joiner off of this newer switch that I have in here. I'm only trying to heat up that side of it. There it is, popped right off. Now I can clean up the rest of this area, test fit the switch. And this lucky piece of track goes into the round file. I always turn my soldering iron off when I'm done using it, by the way. Just because I've got little hands that try to help. Back with the putty knife. Now, I don't need to scrape all the way into this. I only need to scrape to where the ties were. See, I've got a little more cleanup to do there, but we're close. This is mainly because don't want to scrape off all this nice gray ballast that I still have glued down. I don't need to. Just need to get really close. I might need to, but I don't think I do. Alright, well, here's a lucky switch. And it looks like I'm gonna need to trim just a little more. Don't know if you can see that in this shot, but I will rotate this camera here and take it off the tripod and get closer for you. So as you can see, we're not quite there, but if I had cut on those lines, it wouldn't line up right. So that's the reasoning. Alright, there you go. Now before I make sure where I need to cut, I have an insulated rail joiner I need to put there, and a rail joiner to slide on there. I can make sure it's where it needs to be. And I will need to scrape out a little more ballast right there, which won't be too bad, because I'll cut out the area with the Dremel and it'll pop right out. Alright, here we go. Make sure that those points are to the diverging side. Set that up there, and then a little bit of Sharpie there. Should be fine. Handy dandy Dremel. And I'll sprinkle a little bit of ballast over the little extra cracks there, or it'll pop out and you won't even notice that's there. Just using the corner here. Get that up. There's one side. Handy dandy vacuum. Be a little loud. Sorry. I'll set that right back down there. So it looks like I'm gonna have to take off a little more of that gray ballast. So we'll just go ahead and hit that whole area with a little bit more scraping. Now doesn't that look pretty? Everything's in frame, so we'll go ahead and slip some rail joiners on the end of that. See how everything lines up. So I'll end up needing 2 insulated joiners, 2 regular joiners just to get that switching. So, regular and insulated. A lot of people say, oh, just cut a gap. I prefer to use the insulated joiner. My preference. Your preference may be something different. Hey, what you do on your railroad is up to you. It's your railroad. This is my railroad. And it's not after any prototype railroad. So if you don't like it and say, oh, that's not correct or that doesn't look right, it's right for me. Because when you freelance it, like I'm doing, no one can say much about it. they can try. So there we are. Not much there to cut off. I might actually leave that switch in place while I hit it with the Dremel. So let's go ahead and do that. Safety glasses, guys. Always want to wear them. So I don't know if you noticed that. My Dremel blade just obliterated. That's why I wore safety glasses. But, got cut through. That's what I found that was left of that blade. And in the round file it goes. Got a fresh new one here and on we go. So that gap's a little big, but once everything gets spaced out, with joiners and everything, we'll end up with something like that. It'll be nice and smooth. Won't even notice it. Now I gotta prep it for rail joiners. Just take a hobby knife, trim off the spike heads. All four sides. Once I get that off, I'll take the same knife and make sure I can slide it underneath the rail, the bottom of the rail. And I'll shave down the top of this tie. On this side more than the other. There's a plastic rail joiner that goes in here. Just like that. You can see it now, but it goes under there pretty easy now. And this side, we'll go ahead and take it. Scrape underneath. Now, there's one joiner. Now I'm sure I misplaced that plastic tie too. Oh, there it is. Insulating joiner, not plastic tie. So I got that pushed on there. And before I try to slide it on here, I'm going to take a file and clean this all up. Because that'll catch that plastic rail joiner and mar it up, and it won't look as nice. And it won't seat as well either. Small file looks perfect. That feels nice. Nice and smooth. It's not catching or cutting me. It's perfect. In my book. Now to get this to go on there, right? Take a small screwdriver so you can kind of wedge it up a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of extra space under there. Get it started. Well, it looks like we're started. Looks like I'm gonna have to undercut that some more. As you can see, maybe if I focus on it, started to bend it and booger it all up. So we'll scrape under there with the hobby knife, make more space. One thing we can also do is pick out some of this ballast here. Let's see if that worked. Made a cut there. Perfect. Cut the web between the tie so I can take it out. We can put a new tie in there later. Or the same one after we sand it down. Go in here with this screwdriver and scrape out some of this ballast there. That should get rid of any of the problems we had going on there. Now that I got a little more space there to file, I'm gonna get underneath there a little bit, make sure there's no burrs. Put a little more bit of angle on the foot of the rail. Get under just a little more. And then slide this switch on there and see how everything fits. Oh, so far so good. Look at that. Perfect. There we go. Switch is cut in. It didn't show me putting that together just because I was doing it. There's two ways you can do it. But since we're using the insulated joiner here and here, best way is just bring it up like this and slide it in on itself and push it down. Got a little bit of wobble in there. Once we eyeball down this track though, everything lines up pretty darn good. I'll go ahead and put some Elmer's glue under there and tack it down.